Hey there, mattphilleo in the studio. Just want to do a video for the Realistic Acrylic Facebook group. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can hop over there if you're not already a member and see all the fantastic portraits fellow artists are doing, painting realistic portraits that are just amazing. But for those of you that are in the group, I want to do a video where I discuss the things I like about the portrait winners, the people that won the contest yesterday, our header image contest. Again, congratulations to all of you. And I want to go through each and every portrait and just discuss what I like about it, what's working. Sherry, the admin in the group, mentioned to me this would be a good idea. And I had been thinking about doing it, but just with her encouragement, I'm going to go ahead and record this video. Let's go through all these portraits and learn from each other and celebrate our wins. So I'm going to pull up some images here and let's discuss. This is going to be a lot of fun. All right, so here we are. First of all, just want to congratulate all the winners by name. First place to Hannah Jaborova. Excuse me if I mispronounce the name, but Hannah wins for the untitled portrait and also gets one free trial month of membership at Realistic Acrylic. So congratulations, Hannah. Love that portrait. Second place to Ann Sanders. Congratulations, Ann, for your 30 by 30 acrylic. Third place to Monique Brent. And that's for Curtis, 16 by 20. Honorable mention to Emily Lewis for her portrait of Emma, an 11 by 14. Congratulations. Honorable mention to Kelly Dwyer for Rhea, 16 by 20 portrait. Congratulations for that, Kelly. And honorable mention to Michelle for Voices Carry, a 14 by 14. And then finally, a People's Choice Award, and that's the highest number of votes received. That did not already get an award. That goes to Benjamin Lester for Brush, a beautiful painting of a brush with soap. Just fantastic. So congratulations, Benjamin. And you also win that one free trial month of membership at Realistic Acrylic. So congratulations on that. So anyway, thank you so much, everyone. Now let's get to the portraits. We're going to go ahead and click on the images here. And so we have this first portrait. This is Hannah's. And you have to excuse me if I don't get all the names down because it doesn't necessarily tag these images, but I like this portrait here, and I chose it for first place because the lighting is just very well done. I mean, you have shading coming up here, this section here with the difference in values, the contrast in values between the forehead, the nose, and then the rest of the image, even the way the hair is kind of modeled, and you have some pieces going in all different directions. Fantastically done. That's what I'm looking for in a portrait. I'm looking for that contrast between lights and darks, and this has it. I mean, it has very accurate values. Everything's saturated well. Again, also the form, I'm looking for accurate form. Everything looks like it's in order. The spacing between the eyes, nose, and mouth. Good tilt to the head. These shadows coming down from the hair are fantastic. They really make the portrait interesting and give it some great illusion of depth. The colors maybe look a little bit yellowish, but that could be the skin tone, and might also be just the way the photo appeared that the artist painted from. But there is a little differentiation here with the pinker tone in the ears and the lips, and I like that. I also like the background. It's kind of a muted gray, and it's just really well done in the way it's darker up here. Okay, notice this, it's darker up in here, which allows the light contrasted areas of the hair to stick out. And then it's lighter down here, which allows these darker values within the shirt and the shadows within the cheek and the eye socket area and eyeglasses to really stick out. So there's some great contrast. I think that was an intentional thing, painting the background darker up here and lighter down there. So a great grasp of fundamentals with this artist. Haven't seen Hannah in the group before this, so glad to have you here, Hannah. Thank you so much for submitting this, and congratulations again. Now, I want to move on to the next one. Move on to the next image. Let's see. And this is Ann Sanders, I believe, and this is second place. So congratulations on that. And what I like about this portrait is the luminosity within the face. There's just some fantastic luminosity here. We have a good sense of the lighting, you know, coming from the right side, hitting the face, casting shadows. The pose is well done. A nice tilt of the head. The proportions are accurate. There's good reflections on the eyes, and good differentiation between the coloring of the skin and the coloring of the hair. The background is pleasing. We have some angular strokes kind of drawing our focus to the face, and I like that. And I also like the kind of 5 o'clock shadow look. So we have a lot of things working well for this portrait. I think an improvement on this portrait could be some slightly darker values in a few spots. It seems to me that if we could add some darker values within the hair and the eyebrows and eyes, that would take this portrait to the next level. So it's just lacking a little bit of contrast in a few areas, but other than that, it's a fantastic job. So again, congratulations to Anne, and so glad you submitted this. Let's move on to the next one. And I can't remember, I think this was Monique LeBrent here. Let me just X out of this quick. I want to make sure I have this right. Third place, Monique LeBrent. Yep. And just a second here. I clicked something I shouldn't have clicked. Let's just X that out. Okay, now let's get back to the image of, okay. Monique LeBrent. Okay, so this painting here I really liked in terms of the crispness and the smoothness of shading. Very, very smooth gradations on the forehead. You know, you have these transitions. They're very, very gradual. Nice bright highlight here on the forehead. Smooth transitions on the rest of the face. The eyes are well done. There's tons of detail in certain spots. Even little details on the eyelid showing moisture. I think that's fantastic. The teeth are well done as far as detail goes. So a very crisp portrait, good differentiation between the foreground and background. Yeah, I really, really like this portrait. So fantastic job, Monique. To improve, I just suggest maybe having a little bit of this coloring in the background being moved over to this right side. I think the separation between having the shadow, and I know he's probably casting a shadow on the wall, creates kind of a division in the portrait. You have this very, very dark shadow over here, and it unnaturally draws your eye to this section. And we don't have enough dark values on this side of the portrait to balance out. So compositionally, it's a little bit off, but I mean, it's a fantastic portrait. If you could have some darker values on this side, like what you have here over here, and blend that out and maybe darken the background a little bit more, and that would then allow the white color of his shirt to shine out, that would really balance it. I'm not sure about the smile, if that's perfectly aligned. It looks like it's a little askew with the eyes, but that might be his smile. I'm not sure. So these are some considerations I thought about as I was deciding on which portrait would get first place, second, and third. But this portrait has some really good fundamentals. Shading is phenomenal. Detail is phenomenal. Just a couple of the fundamentals as far as composition and maybe a little bit of the anatomy could use some improvement. And so I chose this for third place. Congratulations, Monique. Thanks so much for submitting this. Okay, let's scroll along to the next one. And we have Emily Lewis with her portrait. And I really love the luminosity here. Emily is one of my students at realisticacrylic.com, taking my portrait lessons. And she's really put the glazing technique to good use. And I like that aspect of this portrait. You have some really nice effervescent kind of lighting from her hair. And there's a glow to this portrait. I love that. I'd worked with Emily a little bit on refining the eyes with a critique I did. And she did a fantastic job in getting the eyes a little bit thinner and making the eyelids kind of compressed so that it really looks like this girl is smiling. And I love the joy captured in her face. The details in the eyes are very well done. But the thing I like the most is the luminosity within the portrait. So congratulations, Emily, on this. You know, to improve, it would be good to have a little more contrast within the hair. And maybe a few different directional strokes within the hairline, hair strands going in other directions, and maybe just a little more work on some of the shadows on the face, but very well done. So congratulations, Emily. All right, let's move along to the next portrait here. Next portrait, we've got, it looks like we've got Kelly's portrait. So Kelly did a nice pet portrait here. And I really love the luminosity here within the pet and the background as well. And I really, like I say, like the luminosity here. The difference in contrast between the foreground and background is very, very well done. Emily was working with me in some critiques in our classes, and she did a great job with the reflections here on the dog's eyes. Some of the shadows coming from the head of the dog is very well done. And just, I really like the coloring. I like the golden tones within the dog's fur and the contrast of the blue in the background. So very well done. I think to improve, maybe a little more fur texture would help. And that does take some time to get those skills down. It's a lot of work to paint fur, a lot of different brush strokes and angles and considerations. But very, very well done. So congratulations on this, Kelly, and glad to have you in the group. Okay, now move along to the next one. And let's see, we've got, this is Michelle's portrait, and I really like Michelle's contrast that she has here in this painting. It's very, very well done. The kind of chiaroscuro effect, like Caravaggio, like the old masters, the dark background, the lighting hitting her face, the seriousness of the pose. It's very, very well done. And it's kind of a model look, a little more of a painterly, kind of a John Singer Sargent kind of look. But I like that. I think that has a place within realism. Realism doesn't always have to be super smooth. It can be a little more aggressive and painterly. And I like this portrait. And I think to improve, maybe, you know, a little more blending in certain areas. But, you know, very, very well done for an acrylic portrait. It is a little harder to blend in this style with acrylic. So, Michelle, phenomenal job. Congratulations. Okay. Now we're moving along to Benjamin's painting, Benjamin Lester's painting of the brush. And, you know, I think Benjamin must have a lot of experience with still lifes. Very well done portrait. Love the shading. Love the detail on the bubbles. It's just fantastic. You know, at the end of the day, I would prefer to see people portraits, you know, portraits of faces for, you know, a group like this. But I just had to include this in here because the detail work is so well done. The contrast, the composition is phenomenal. Of this angle leading your eye into the picture, we go up into the hand, we go back down through the drapery and the folds, and then back around. So the composition is well done. The coloring, the shadows on the drapery is very well done. So congratulations, Benjamin. So glad to have you in the group here. And to all of our winners, again, congratulations. Thank you so much for entering your work every week. and I look forward to seeing your portraits here in the next competition. So if you're not in the Realistic Acrylic Portrait School group, I encourage you to join that. It's a free group on Facebook. I'll have a link here in the video if you're watching this on YouTube, and definitely join that and share your work. And if you feel stuck for whatever reason, you can get critiques, and I'll be happy to help. I'm there pretty often, and we have a lot of fine people in the group that would be happy to help you out. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. God bless, and we'll talk to you soon.